Welcome to your true erotic power. I'm Celinne, and today we're going to be discussing about Viseros. This is my new favorite word, and I'm going to tell you all about it. Hi guys, welcome back. I have discovered something, and it has been on my mind for weeks. I've been trying to manifest bigger things, wealth, creativity, visibility, and what I've found shifted everything. It is the energetics of power, effortless influence, and desire. There are people that I'm just so mesmerized by them, and it's because of their frequency. It's because of who they are. I was so curious about what makes somebody so attractive and so magnetic that people are so captivated by them. And so I was on a mission. I really wanted to find out and develop more of this energy because if I can hack this matrix, there has to be an easier way to do it. So, because I'm crazy, I hired a coach who is an ex dominatrix, Daoist nun. I hired a special ops expert. I talked to a few millionaires, which tomorrow I will actually have a live event with my millionaire mentor, Given. I have a free live event on TikTok, and then on Thursday we'll be coming back here on YouTube so I can pick his brain, share us some tips and tricks about wealth, about leadership, mindset. Lastly, I sat down with a neuroscientist and I'm hoping that I could get her on my podcast too because it would be really interesting. And, she's not just another scientist, she specializes in psycho-sexuality, which she has spent years researching about desire. So these people literally come from different fields, but it all encompasses desires. They have different ways of showing us how we can honor these desires that we have, how we can build wealth that is really embodied and it is honoring our soul's truth. I was chasing this question: how do we truly attract and magnetize wealth, not just mentally, but through the body? Wealth that really stays with you and that is regenerative. This was my big aha moment, and this is what I discovered. Wealth is not just about strategy. It is about your capacity to feel safe with your own desire. It lives in the body, in your sacrum, in your womb. It is your ability to hold, to receive, and direct that energy. Currency is electric, and desire, it is the current that moves through the circuits of your being. So when our energetics, when our electric, our yang energy, there is a mismatch between your yin and yang energy, which, all of this energetics moves through our meridian points, then it is harder for us to manifest wealth. To receive more, I had to recode my meridian, rewire how I let this energy move through me. I realized that our libido, our erotic life force, our eros, our turn on, is the same source of creativity and drive. We have been taught all of this time that libido equals sex. Wrong. I was mind blown by this too. Our libido or eros is the life force. This is the regenerative energy that keeps you healthy and vibrant. It's what Carl Jung described as the energy of transformation, the current of growth, the engine of your evolution. And if you are disconnected from it, you're not just blocked sexually, you're likely blocked creatively, financially, and emotionally. Now, this led me to this word called Viseros. It's such a pretty word, but Viseros is this full body embodiment of our deepest desires. And desires are so important because this is what leads us to our purpose. It's made up of two ancient words starting vis, meaning power, strength, might, and then eros is the Greek god of desire, sexuality, life force. Many ancient cultures, such as in Greek, in Asian philosophies, they have been studying about this life force energy. Together, Viseros is this power of embodied desire. Not just sex, not just power, but the alchemy of both. Viseros is what happens when you stop fragmenting who you are and instead you are infusing this craving with your capacity. It's almost like this moment, your desire becomes a generator. It's truly the engine of your body. It is a portal, a calling. But it is not just sexual, it is soul deep. Viseros is what I see in the eyes of tantric practitioners. Viseros is what I've unlocked in my own body and what I saw in many millionaires, that drive, that want, that need. The more you hold power and really embrace it, you tap into your sacrum. You just exude this erotic frequency, and people just get magnetized by you. And they question and wonder, like, what does this person have that I don't have? So, embodied power, this desire, is what pulls people in, and trust is what turns attention into value. You can command and stay grounded. Can you imagine a world where everyone has access to Viseros, their arrows, this life force energy? The world where people can just walk in with an embodied sense of purpose, where they know who they are, they know what they want, and they own it. They take space. Wealth is not just about paper money, it is influence. It's who you are that people will stop and listen to what you have to say. You are undeniable. And when you walk into rooms, it's almost like people have to adjust to your frequency. It's just the gravity of who you are. This is where your erotic energy is integrated and is not repressed. Imagine what you can create if you hold this power and really embrace it. We've been fed with this watered down version of eros, that this desire is taboo or it only lives in the bedroom. However, if this eros, if it is not expressed, misdirected, it doesn't just disappear. This is what mutates into anxiety, depression, self sabotage. This causes a lot of burnout. So, these archetypes are so powerful because they pull us into this projection, idealization, inflation, procrastination, loops, because this energy needs to be directed. It needs purpose. It needs to flow. Now, this goes even deeper, very primal to our biology, because another thing that I found out is that when we lose a relationship, we lose a part of ourselves that we project onto them. This is why it hurts so much when we go through a breakup, because that archetype, they had almost mirrored what is missing in us. That missing part of you, that individuation to wholeness. The positive and negative aspects is always wanting to complete a circuit. Our eros is the same energy driving your creativity, ambition, purpose. It fuels all of the human growth and transformation. You can suppress this energy and suffer, or if your eros is only about sex, then we feel like we're lacking something. But it's how we use your desires to shape everything from your passions to personal growth. Shame and sadness tends to sink down. This is asking you to surrender. And then rage and frustration, this is going up. When you feel this sexual frustration, creative blocks, money blocks, or feeling stuck in life, they're all connected under the same manifestation of the underlying energy. You can either let it run wild or burn out, or you can alchemize it and channel it, directing this energy into something such as working out, creating something. Carl Jung calls this as the sublimation, the art of turning erotic energy into gold, turning cravings into creations, turning desire into devotion. And that's the real work, not denying your cravings, but becoming the version of you who can hold them with power, precision, and poise. When your eros is flowing freely, you're honoring this desire. This energy needs direction. It is passionate. It is motivated. It is connected to its sense of purpose, creatively or sexually fulfilled. Now, the key is recognizing, where is this eros wanting to flow? Is it pushing me towards a creative pursuit? Is it manifesting as a deeper desire for transformation? Is it showing up as frustration, stagnation, or obsession? Everything that tends to irritate us about others, this can lead us into a deeper understanding of ourselves. That life force energy is always moving, always looking for expression. And so when you start to reclaim your power, you stand firm. You're no longer getting pulled into other people's illusions. You embody the sovereignty, your wealth, your magnetism, your voice, your art, your life. There is just this conviction, gravity, and weight of your words that makes people just stop and follow you. And it's all tied deeply how you let yourself feel, how boldly you want, how beautifully you become through your desires. Several people have this negative connotation of money and power, that it's evil. However, it's not really evil. It's not about not having, it's about not being had by it. Not to chase money to fill a void, but to honor what turns you on, because that's where God speaks the loudest. You build this palace not to live it alone, but to open the gates for everybody else to remember who they are. Those are some of my findings about Viseros. I'm going to leave you with this powerful energetic recalibration and calling back your power. Here goes. I call upon my highest self to bear witness to my becoming. With open heart and fierce grace, I return to the power I've scattered across timelines and lovers. I call back every version of me I once projected onto others. I no longer chase reflections, I become the source. And may this ritual be an act of remembrance, reclamation, and radical self-love. Amen, namaste, so mote it be. Today's video is a little bit shorter, but again, tomorrow I have a live event with my millionaire mentor, Gwen, with our crypto at 4 p.m. EST on TikTok and YouTube on Thursday, again, 4 p.m. We're going to be talking about wealth, leadership, crypto, life advice, millionaire mindset that can really set you up for this next few years. Because being a millionaire is a different type of frequency. And if you can tap into that, feel that containment, you will receive their codes too. So make sure that you're here for that, because I have plenty more of fun and cool stuff to talk about. Tomorrow, 4 p.m. on TikTok, Thursday, 4 p.m. live on YouTube, so you can ask us all kinds of questions. I have one-on-one sessions if you're ready to embody your power, clear those old beliefs, if you're ready to really up-level and change your life. Potent meditations with frequencies, workbooks on my shop, and I will see you then.